everyone, and welcome to the International Student Session at our ICMS On-Campus Open Day. I am so excited to introduce our speakers. My name is Julia, and I am the Marketing Communications Coordinator here at ICMS. And this is Sam. She is a South African current student doing her postgraduate degree. And this is Egidio. He is a French international student, and they are both going to speak to you today about their international student experience. Egidio, now you can take the stage and speak a little bit about your experience.
Thank you, Juliet. Thank you. Hi, guys. So yes, as she said, I'm international students. I'm French and Italian, and I come from Belgium. A bit of a mix there. I studied in places in Europe, such as Brussels, Delft in the Netherlands, and in Paris. And now I'm here in Australia. So I'm going to talk to you about a little bit how it is studying here, how it is coming here. I arrived here in September 2019. I was part of the ISG School of Business in Paris, and I came here to finish my bachelor's. As soon as I got here, I really was warmly welcomed from ICMS. Straight away, I came here. I met many people from everywhere, Nepal, India. I met some German people. I met some Italians, some French as well, coming from the same school as me, some that I didn't even know. And thanks to ICMS, we got connected very, very fastly. Why is that? It's because as soon as I arrived, there was the O-Week. O-Week, ICMS organizes many, many activities, all day, every day. And like this, we get to connect with your fellow classmates and also the fellow residents. I was living here on campus in Manly. As I told you, there's students coming from everywhere, and during the O-Week, I did many activities to get to connect with my fellow students. When I started the classes, I was also stressed. I didn't know if I would make it or so. There was I heard about referencing program. I was scared, but thanks to ICMS, we've got the student representative, the Student Success Center, and they helped us, they helped me as well to get to know how to do my referencing. And thanks to that, after that, I was very, very confident to do my assessments. And they're really here to help you. And many people, as when I met Samantha here for my postgraduate, I'll come to this later, we help each other. And that's really part of the ICMS family. You get to help each other. You get to know also your lecturers. The classes are really small. So you've got, but they're big enough. So you meet many people, but they're small enough so you can talk to your lecturer. They're always listening to you. I got to talk with lecturers, and today as well, they still message me. They're like, hey, G, how is it going with your studies after classes and such? You must know there was COVID at some point. So I did my bachelor here, and then during COVID, I had to go back to Europe. But I still had classes to do. During those classes, I thought, damn it, I'm going to be lost. Nobody's going to be looking after me, and what is going to happen? Well, here at ICMS, some teachers were messaging me on a weekly basis. They stayed there. They kept on connecting with me and asking me, how is it going? How are your studies going? Do you need any help or so? And I really felt connected to the ICMS and connected to my teachers and mates as well, because we were doing group works online, but still we were a group, still connected together. So that gave me really the envy to come back here as soon as the border would open again. That's what happened back in January 2022. So just this January, 6 months ago, I decided to come to start my postgraduate studies here. And once again, I met new people, new German, new Indians, new Nepalese, people from everywhere, got connected, and now they're living everywhere, because some of them already left. But we stay connected. This is part of the ICMS. That's how we do. And yeah, for me, I think that's it. What I'd like to say is really ICMS keeps you connected. They mentor you. They're always supporting you, as happened during COVID. And when I came here, again, people were asking me, how was it back at the time, how it is now? We stay together, and they mentor you really well. And yeah, come study here, really. You get connections, very important.
Awesome, thank you, Egidio. Now I'm on to Sam, who's going to speak about her current student experience.
Great, thank you, Jules. Hello, my name is Sam, and I am a South African international student here, also doing my postgrad, like Egidio. We're actually finishing at the same time, I think. Or maybe I've got one more trimester. So basically, you guys all in the room are pretty much international students, and people come to study at ICMS because of the allure of the castle on the hill. It is seriously the nicest day, and we're all in the classroom right now because we want everyone online to be able to learn about ICMS, but we're surrounded by 9 beaches right now. So ICMS is located on top of a hill. You can see it in Manly, and when I first came to Australia on a holiday many years ago, I looked up at the hill and I thought, oh, what's that? It's actually the castle from The Great Gatsby as well, which is really cool because one of our driveways is a scene from when Gatsby drives into his house. So for people who might not attend the college, they'll always be able to see it in the movie The Great Gatsby. So that was filmed here. That's like one of our cool little claims to fame. And yep, I'm actually doing my internship here at ICMS too. So the great thing about being an international student coming into ICMS is that you're coming into a family, you're coming into a super nurturing system. So I don't know for those of you in the room, like where you are in progression with your studies, but like Egidio, I was stuck back in South Africa for pretty much a year and a half whilst I waited to get here. And I think for a lot of us, we have that serious gratitude of finally being able to arrive, finally making friends. And you can see it in people's positive attitudes when they're sitting down at the CUIC, which is actually where, you know, if you're, say, a study abroad student or you're a student who stays on the campus residence, then you'll go get breakfast, lunch, snacks, dinner, socializing, everything down in the courtyard. But let me be less, like confusing for people. To be an international student to study here, you have to hold a student visa. So that's something that is sort of like with the admin side of things, is you have to apply for a student visa. So our pathways to study here, we offer bachelor's degrees, we offer pathway courses at Aspire Institute. We also have ISCA, which is our sports-related college. And then we have our postgraduate qualifications, graduate certifications. Am I missing any of them here? So yeah, those are all the pathways for people to come and study in Australia. And seriously, the Australian lifestyle, and ICMS accommodates to that. So currently we have classes Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. And Thursday and Friday are your days to go to one of those 9 beaches, to go take a trip with friends to Jervis Bay. Did you go there recently? I know a couple of you went there recently. So you also meet people who are so keen just to go for adventures. And the beauty of, say for example, staying on campus is all your friends are around you. But fortunately as well with Sydney in particular, the bus network, the train network is amazing, so it's really easy to get around and it's safe enough to walk around too. I'm sure many of you can share testimony to the fact that you've walked around in Manly late at night and you've been completely safe and completely fine, which for me, coming from a third world country, was just so different. I couldn't even walk around my neighborhood by myself, but that's another story. So yeah, so international students, I feel like everyone, because you're in the same situation, you've maybe left home, you've studied online, you want to be a part of this incredible Australian lifestyle. Everyone is so keen just to make friends with one another. And the beauty of it is ICMS facilitates the forming of those friendships. So say, for example, O Week, it's so fun packed, especially this year. We've got events like stand-up paddle boarding, a scavenger hunt around Manly. There's going to be some paint and sip evenings. What else is coming up? Like a campus day where you...
Maybe some archery as well?
Yeah, archery. So there's really great events the first week, and then that really bonds you. And then from there you can, sort of carry on with classes. The international students get incredible support here too. So, for example, like Egidio mentioned, your Student Success Centre, the wellness team there, they're really, really helpful. They seriously, seriously care about how you're doing. And the lecturers too. I've honestly encountered the most personalised learning. I've had so many mentors in different spaces. So, for example, other students who've been my mentors, I know one of the international students I reached out to gave me really great advice for securing an internship. Another one I reached out to was telling me what to put in my scholarship application to ensure that I got scholarship. So that's another opportunity for us international students is there's so many, every degree has a scholarship, and then there's your professional industry scholarships, there's like a variety of them. So I would recommend anybody, starting at ICMS to have a look at what scholarships are offered. I don't know if you guys in the audience have ever actually looked on the website, but there's so many available to you and they're not difficult to apply for. And then something else, thinking of being an international student, is work. So fortunately, the visa conditions for a subclass 500 visa at the moment, they've lifted restrictions on working hours. So you can pretty much work full time if you would like to, obviously factoring in time for your studies. But seriously, it's to earn a living here, and Egidio and I actually spoke about this in a YouTube video earlier this year, but comparing expenses to, say, a lifestyle in Germany or France or South Africa, for example, your quality of life here is incredible, and with what you earn, it does stretch pretty far. Rentals are expensive, but I would then say if you're an international student studying at ICMS, stay on campus.
Proportional as well. So you earn a lot as well.
Yeah, it's pretty proportional. So that's something. But seriously, I'd like to emphasize to international students watching this perhaps online is ICMS is big enough to connect you, small enough to connect with you. So that's our motto. They will connect you with so many people, not just at ICMS, but also going forward when you come to your internship. They'll connect you with industry partners. If you're wanting to do an internship, then they'll connect you with people or jobs that you're particularly interested in. Like Egidio might have mentioned, ICMS is helping him find a placement. They help me find my placement. That's through the Work Integrated Learning Department, actually. So if you're doing a bachelor's or postgrad degree here, they help you with that. And even, say for example, you're on study abroad and you'd like to stay on a little bit longer, sometimes they might even say, we know of Q Station hiring, or the Manly Sea Eagles are looking for something, or, there's plenty of places to have a look.
Right?
So many opportunities, yeah. So I think that's it from me. Honestly, I've had the most incredible experience studying at ICMS, and I truly hope that anybody who studies here can have just as much fun as we've had. Even though it was impacted by COVID, I think we've more than made up for it in the time that we've been here. So yeah, Jules, maybe if you want to open up the Q&A.
Yeah, I'll open up to the floor if there's any questions about a student experience, maybe any questions from the audience? I think it would be good to see, are there any tips or tricks that you've learned? I mean, you guys have been students here for a little while now. Are there any little tips or tricks that you can't find on the website, you can't find, anywhere that you've learned?
The first tip that I would give
let me get you a mic. You got a mic, never mind.
Yeah, the first tip that I would give out is, if you're scared, just trust your gut. That's what I would say.
Absolutely.
Just go for it. Because you meet people really from everywhere, and even if you're really far from your family, I take my account, I'm 16,000 kilometers from home.
Wow.
Obviously, family is far away, but the people you meet here, you get really linked with them, and they become your second family.
Yeah.
So you really don't have to be scared about that if that's what you're scared of. That's, I think, my main tip.
Yeah. Many people might be, all of you sitting in the room, I think majority of you are all study abroad or international students who have supported us. Thank you for attending the session. But it's daunting. You're basically, when you want to study overseas, you've made the conscious choice that you're not going to stay home and follow the status quo. Well, at least for me, not many of the people who I know have left home. Maybe if you're European or even Australians, they just jet set everywhere. Travel's no biggie for them. But for me, it was a big thing because I was giving up home and I was giving up everything familiar.
Yeah.
And it's been so worth it. And seriously, the people who I miss from home, thank goodness for FaceTime and WhatsApp and all that, because if I'm missing home, I just give my parents a call or my partner a call and you're fine. And the lifestyle here is so incredible. There's not really any trade-offs. And for me, when I decided to come and study overseas, it was because I wanted international experience. And because of Australia's location to Asia, and I'm doing an international business master's, I seriously wanted that Australian work experience so that wherever I go in the world, it's a standard that's then recognized. Not to say though that it's all work and no play either. It's seriously fun here.
Yeah. And also what I would say, it's a 100% win situation.
Yeah.
You're not losing anything, you're just gaining experience and positive experience, I think.
Yeah, and you're meeting a community of people. I think that's what's really great is because it's a slightly smaller college, it's a slightly smaller kind of community. You meet people much easier, and you can kind of, you make new friends on the first day, I'm sure. And,
and despite the fact that it's quite a small college, you've got people from everywhere as well.
Literally everywhere.
You haven't got only Aussies, so yeah, as I said earlier, you meet really people from all the horizons.
And that's really fun because then you learn about different cultures. You can learn, people have so many different experiences coming from all over the globe. And I think that's really interesting to then hear their experiences. You just meet different types of people. And I think that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And also like to emphasize again the location, like you're in the prime spot. If you want a change of scenery, one of my friends who lived in Berlin said, oh, it was just, so boring. And I come from Johannesburg in South Africa where it's just brown grass and like high palisade fencing, and I didn't have that lifestyle. So the quality of life that you get as a student, because it can be so stressful, and oh my gosh, assignments, and I've left everything till last minute again, and but then you clear your head by going for a walk, from Manly to, I always end up going too far, I'm at Longreef eventually. But seriously, the lifestyle is just incredible. The food is so good.
Absolutely. You've got food from everywhere as well.
Yeah, food from everywhere. I know that you were the biggest fan of Haymarket.
I really like Haymarket.
The restaurants there.
And also, I'd like to mention, so we're doing the same masters, international masters, and I'd like to say, I think it's the case also for all of the courses here. Really, some of our teachers we're really close to, and they're very experimented people, and they give us the best tips during classes.
They do.
We get the chance to talk with them, and they take the time to listen to us as well, which is something that makes a difference.
I don't know if many people relate to this. I think they do, because when I was at a much larger higher education institution for my bachelor's degree, and that was also a private, college. And I was maybe one of like 150 in class. I don't think the lecturer knew my name. If I ever emailed them, I never got a response. So seriously, here, you will email a lecturer. They won't say, oh dear, whoever. They'll be like, hey Sam, how are you? Didn't see you in class last week. Is everything okay? Sure, I can answer that question. So it's just different. It's like those small things where you feel like a lecturer is seeing you as a person and not a number.
Exactly.
And they know you, and they know your strengths, and they want to help you, progress your career, progress personally. Like one of my favorite classes was with Stephen Rodwell.
Okay, I didn't have him as a teacher.
You didn't have him? Oh, he was so good. And one of the classes he had was on emotional intelligence, and also the courses are just so relevant and so international, so your projects as well, it's not just parrot fashion where you go study a textbook page, then you have to go recite it on a piece of paper, and then you get a grade.
Yeah, loads of group works as well.
Group
so
work.
You get to also understand how to work with the people, and
work with other people. You'll work with local businesses too. So it's really great, and especially if we both have long-term plans of staying in Australia. It's great to establish that network. But let's say, for example, when you're done your degree here, you want to move on. You've made those connections all around the world, and you've also gained that experience of working with multicultural teams.
That's it.
You've also got an incredible work ethic here. It's not like traditional exams where, like I said, you learn a page from a book, you forget it after your exam, which is basically what I did with my bachelor's. Here it's like you rarely, if you've got passion and purpose, people recognize that in you, and they push you further.
They really want you to succeed.
If I want to add something as well, so I was here, of course, for my bachelor, the end of my bachelor, where I met many people, and these people are now around the world, and I came back because obviously I loved ICMS, and really, I think what changed it was during COVID, when I wasn't there, the support I got from ICMS as I was away, And that really made me think, okay, I need to come back. And when I came back, nothing had changed. I met, again, new people, you know?
Yeah.
And it's really an opportunity, and it's rich, the fact that you can create such a network. And I met some of my best friends as well back in the bachelor, and I'm meeting great people right now. And I think this contact will keep it, and it will last.
Yeah. Exactly. Awesome. Well, if there are no other questions, then I think we'll wrap up this session. Thank you, Sam, and thank you, Egidio, for sharing your student experiences and international perspective. If you have any other questions, or you're watching online and you're curious about joining the ICMS community from an international perspective, you can head to our website and read about other student experiences from our Hall of Fame and our news section. We always are writing about other student experiences from students all over the country and all over the world. So thank you for joining.
Thank
you.